You picked a chewing gum at the checkout. And I know for a fact that you didn't even realize that very necessary things, such as bread, are placed at the very end of the supermarket. Not to mention the case that you picked a lot of things, you put a lot of things in your basket while searching for a toilet paper, right? So, why do you think people always spend more than planned when they visit some supermarkets, especially the big ones? Here are some tricks which supermarkets always play on us. They are psychological tricks and they always influence our decision making. So today we are going to look one by one. The common one is, as I have mentioned, supermarkets place very necessary things at the end of the store. This is because they want you to walk through their aisles more and purchase more. Like, when you walk through some of the aisles, you encounter many junk food and any other sweet things, and they are very unnecessary. So you don't need them. But you automatically pick them and put it into your basket. That is the trick. And by this thing, supermarkets earn more and more money. So I think you probably knew about it, right? The next one, yeah, there is a thing, the term consumer behavior. Okay, the two things I would love to tell you is social proof. There are a lot of people, right? And the paths, the ways which are followed by many people are always considered to be right, considered to be very okay to choose. And therefore, the products which are chosen by many people are chosen by others as well. So it influences, it kind of condition in the supermarket. And the next one is, it's about time, the limited time. Limited times always encourage people to think as if they need to hurry, as if they need to rush to buy that thing. For example, when you have one product on a sale and there is a discount, but the discount is only for 2 days. And your brain actually will start to think that I must buy this thing. This is because the time is limited, and the price is much cheaper than ever before. But in reality, do you really need that thing? And my answer is no, you don't need that thing in the nearer future. And also, the experts' opinions and their adverts, you know about it, right? The experts like advertise it on TVs, on other social media sites. It influences customers' behavior as well. So here are clear examples. We have visited a few of the supermarkets with my teammates, with my partners, and we have discovered that, yeah, you see these pictures, right? They show discounts and they are very attractive, right? And yeah, this is the case when, yeah, the practical thing we have encountered in supermarkets in our city. So, yeah, now it's time for an unknown hacks. There are a few, as I mentioned before. You may not know a few of them, so let's move on. No big windows. I have visited, yeah, supermarkets and couldn't find big windows in any of them. That is because of one thing. Because supermarkets want you to stay in longer. Longer, longer, and longer. Because how does it happen really? Okay, when you are inside and just shop around, you may see the outside, right? When there are big windows. You can see the outside, the condition, what time is it, right? But when you don't see the time, you don't care. And the digital thing doesn't really help you. So yeah, you may see the time, the digital one, but actually you don't feel that it is late. But when you see it practically, that is going to influence you. And you try to finish your shopping faster when you see the time. For example, when you visited Korzinka in Asr prayer time, and there is already Maghrib. And you will see that it is going to be late. And you will leave, right? That is the case. That's why there are no big windows. But although they have some windows, they are mostly covered with some adverts, as it is in this market. So the next one, free parking. You definitely have heard about it, right? In Almalik, actually, we have that thing. In Korzinka, there is a free parking space, right? And that influences people very much. Okay, how does it really happen? You will leave your car outside and do not really care about it. Why? Because you may spend the money you could have spent for a parking space on something different. You may purchase something very necessary, right? And actually, you don't care about the time as well. In that case, you don't need to pay. That's why you don't care about time, and you will shop around more and stay in longer to spend your money more. So the next one is smaller floor tiles. Yeah, I've found it was very great thing actually, with why do many supermarkets have smaller tiles? This is because they want you to slow down. You know, when you walk through tiles, which are actually small, even though you are going in a normal speed, you feel like you are going very fast. And that makes you slow down. You automatically slow down and shop around, look at other things, and everything here happens. You stay in longer. You stay in a supermarket longer. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't find a great example in Al Malik. Yeah, I couldn't find it. Every tiles in every supermarket, the tiles were big enough. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, there will be some great tricks, such ones. Okay, the next one, big shopping baskets, trolls. You know about, right? Yeah, when you have those trolls, they are very big, right? And when you take them, you want to feel them. While shopping around, while purchasing some things, you start picking more and more things. And you end up wasting your money, spending more money on that thing. And here is the very great fact. I didn't mention it here, but listen carefully. So there is a troll in every supermarket, right? And when you take it, when you walk with it very fast, it makes unpleasant noise, which always interrupts you. And, it's just like you want to stop it. That's why you slow down. Again, you stay in longer. So, yeah, with trolls, they make unpleasant noise, and then that makes you like walk slowly, more slowly. So the next trick is pleasant scents. The smell is very great thing, right? Yeah. Having visited Korzinka, I've discovered that there is a very pleasant scent, and I just wanted to stay here for a few minutes actually. And it was near a bakery, and there were some fruits and vegetables near here as well. And at first, I thought the scent was from them. The smell is coming from them. They are very fresh. But in reality, you know what happened? When I visited the bakery itself, there were some sweet things, the bread. I didn't find them very fresh, but by their look, by their layout. So then I've discovered that the smell is actually artificial. The smell is artificial. There is no real smell of bread or any other fruits. So why do they look so tasty, fancy, and very like saying eat me, right? Buy me. It is like that. That's because they kind of put some water. They wash them very properly before putting here. And I think that kind of causes fruits to spoil earlier. So maybe I don't really like those fruits because of this reason. The next thing is background music. Yeah, have you ever listened to music when you visited Korzinka? You did, right? There was very pleasant music, and you automatically slowed down after that because the music was very kind of pleasing. It was not pop musics, right? But it is a background music, and this music makes people to slow down and stay in longer to purchase more. Understood? Just the thing. Okay, attracting colors. As you can see in this video, there are a lot of green, right? There is a lot of green colors. And yeah, green attracts people more because it gives a sense that it is very fresh. Very, very fresh. Yeah, you see, everywhere is very green. And you may think that it is very fresh, but in reality, what is it? It is crisps, right? And they are full of oil and so many other additives. Like, yeah. So they attract people. And these ones, you look, they are very organized. And I think that is the thing which attracts them. The colors, there is no blue in yellow space. You see? This is the thing. So the next one is suitable eye level, as you mentioned. You see the video? Here are some toys at the front. And they are placed on the second shelf, at the right place where children can see them. Yeah, yesterday when we visited there was a one woman with her kid. Her daughter just asked her to buy those toys to her. And the door was open. There were only toys here. Her child just grabbed her, make her to come into that supermarket. And as you can see this picture from Korzinka, there are some juices, right? And there are a lot of big ones on upper shelves. And here are some juices for kids. And they are placed on the second shelf because in this very place, children can see them. and probably make their parents to buy one or two. Yeah, impulse buy it, check out. I think you know about it, right? Yes, there are a lot of candies, sweets, and chewing gum at the checkout in every supermarket. So while waiting on a line, you will probably want to take one and buy. Yes, this is the case, and even in that case, they make you to buy something. With those small purchases, they end up being very big amount of money. Yep, my favorite part. Not all the products are organic. I've discovered it recently. Yeah, can you see this picture? There are some mayonnaises, right? And you see the vegetables here on their packages? Yes? So, do you really think that there are some vegetables in it? So, my answer would probably be no. Because actually, mayonnaise contains 70% to 80% of oil, and the rest part is full of food dyes, additives, and so many other things. And there is a little of those vegetables, but there isn't any the solid vegetables in here, and that is very harmful. Yeah, I'm not saying it just by it's not my opinion. It is actually from ingredients which are written on the mayonnaise. I have read it myself when we went to supermarket yesterday. So, and my favorite thing is that juices. When we went Korzinka, there were a lot of juices and choices were a lot. And in most of them, there were a side 100% natural, from 100% natural fruits, which means there is no sugar. It is sugar-free, right? It should have been sugar-free. But when I read the ingredients in it, there some sugar. There was some sugar, so I was blown. My mind was just blown. We were drinking a lot of sugar in the juice, which are actually considered to be natural, organic, right? So most of the advertisements, the packagings, they lie to you. Why do they put those ingredients here, those vegetables here? To attract you, to give a sense that you are consuming something fresh, something healthy.